Radio, Finance Indonesia Internet Radio Channel.
Selamat siang Finance Indonesia People, saya Sokrates Rudi Sirait dari Asia Strategic Advisory. Saat ini saya bersama Pak Cesar de la Cruz dari PT Agung Podomoro Tbk. Pada kesempatan ini kita akan berbincang-bincang mengenai progres dan kinerja dari Agung Podomoro di tahun 2011 dan juga rencana-rencana yang mungkin bisa dipaparkan kepada para pendengar tentang aksi korporasi di 2012. Selamat siang Pak Cesar.
Selamat siang Pak.
Bagaimana Pak dengan situasi pasar global yang saat ini sedang mengalami krisis? Apakah ada pengaruh terhadap bisnis properti di Indonesia khususnya pada Agung Podomoro?
Sampai sekarang kami nggak melihat ada pengaruhnya yang direct. The demand for apartments, especially for the middle income group, continues to grow, especially in Jakarta. If ever there will be an impact in Indonesia, it will be later on. And what I'm personally concerned, for example, is the impact on commodities. With prices of commodities, if they go down and rupiah is strengthening, there could be a problem on the exports. But then it will only affect areas where the commodities are being grown or being produced, like coal in Kalimantan or CPO in Sumatra. As far as our business is concerned, we still do not see any impact.
Okay, so in a property or real estate, the impact it will be not high. Or
not high. There may be some slowdown in the demand, but demand year on year has been quite significant, upwards between 10 to 15%, both for apartments as well as for residential housing.
Pak Cesar, in terms of the interest rate of the Bank Indonesia, do you think now the current interest rate is the ideal one for the property business, or what is the expectation? Should it be lower or should be higher?
There are two ways to look at the interest rate. As far as our funding for development projects, perhaps the rate at the present time is just right. If it goes up a little bit, we can still absorb it. It goes anyway to the cost of the apartments. However, mortgage lending in Indonesia has not been as significant. A study that we saw says that it's only about less than 3% of total GDP, which means not too many people have availed of the mortgage lending. It could be a function of interest rates. So if the interest rates could either be maintained or lowered for mortgage lending, perhaps that will increase the ability of people to buy property, and at the same time increase demand for both housing and residential as well as apartments.
Pak Cesar, in terms of the recently that Agung Podomoro just did the acquisition of the Emporium. So what is actually the strategy or the plan related to this acquisition?
Well, recently we just completed the issuance of 1.2 trillion of bonds in two tranches, a 3-year tranche, which carries a coupon of about 10%, and a 5-year tranche which carries a coupon of 11%. We will be using the proceeds of the funds to acquire properties, either companies with land that can be developed, or directly buy land. But so far, what we have acquired are 3 companies that are engaged in several business. One, we took majority ownership of a mall in Pluit, North Jakarta, and this is in line with our strategy to increase our recurring income. Presently, the revenue of Agung Podomoro land is 95% from strata sale of apartments and as well as offices. Only 5% are coming from recurring income. it is our intention to increase our recurring income of the next 5 years up to about 30%. Hence the acquisition of majority in Emporium. We have also recognized potential for hotels and resort developments in not only in Jakarta, but as well as not only in Jakarta and Bali, but in other places. So one of our recent acquisition is for a company that has 84 hectares of property in Bogor, near Bogor, West Java. And at that development, it is our intention to develop a complex which will have houses, hotel, as well as potential recreational and retirement villages.
In terms of the performance of the financial performance in 2011, if we compare with the company's business plan, do you think Agung Podomoro will achieve the target, or there will be some miss or delay or over the target?
For real estate companies, there are two ways at which you evaluate performance. One is marketing sales. We are happy to say that we are achieving this year a very high level of marketing sales. Up to the end of August, we have already achieved marketing sales of about 3 trillion, and our target for the whole year of 2011 is 3.5. So we're doing very well from that point of view. From the point of view of the profit and loss, because revenues for properties are done on a different basis, like percentage of completion. We are confident that we will be able to meet our targeted bottom line, net profit after tax for shareholders by the end of this year, if not exceeded by a little bit more. So we are still quite positive of the results that we will achieve our targets.
Well, it's really good news, yeah?
Yes.
So what will be the plan for 2012? Is there any new investment or new project in 2012?
Yeah, one of the concerns of our shareholders right now is the sustainability of Agung Podomoro going forward. Because one specific aspect of APL is that we do not have any significant land banks. It is our strategy to just acquire enough land and we develop it as fast as possible within a period of 3 to 5 years. So at the present time, the acquisition of the Gadog project will help us develop revenue and sales that will go beyond, will be good for the next 5 years. We have also announced acquisition of a company that will develop a property, a 2-hectare property in West Jakarta.
West Jakarta.
So that plus our existing project in North Jakarta in Pluit, which is called Green Bay, which will be completed in 2013, early 2014. I think our results should be quite good in the next 2-3 years.
In terms of the competition in the property and residential area, apartment and residential area, do you think the potential market in Indonesia is still big, or now the competition is too competitive in the main city, or?
One has to look at it from different angles. There are two types of real estate developers. Developers who are big in horizontal residential housing, and developers who are big in vertical or apartments. We are proud to say that we have a majority market share as far as the vertical developments are concerned. To date, our concentration has been mostly in Jakarta because we believe that Jakarta has a strong middle income group, and with the fact that a lot of people from Greater Jakarta get into the city to work in the city, creates the potential market for the type of apartments that we are selling. And of course, given the infrastructure development that's ongoing, people who live outside of Jakarta, like in the Greater Jabodetabek area, needs about an hour or maybe 1.5 hours just to get in, and another 1.5 hours to get out. This creates potential demand for the type of apartments that we are selling. And our intention is also to not have a standing vertical developments alone, but part of a super block development, which will have a composition of a mall, apartments, as well as offices. So it can become like an integrated community like Podomoro City. This model that we have is now working very well in Jakarta, and this will continue to be our backbone on the next couple of years. However, we are also looking at second-tier cities in Indonesia that will probably develop that. We have started doing that in Bandung. We have one in Bandung where it has a mall and some hotels, and we have also acquired some properties in Kerawang for residential. We will be looking at other cities as well in Indonesia going forward, but over the next, say, year or two, concentration or the backbone of the operation will still be in Jakarta.
Pak Cesar, in terms of this land acquisition, the new law about the land, is there any help or any good position that being because of the new law? At the present time, we're still studying the impact of the new law because it's not been finalized. One potential thing that could be positive to us is that if they allow foreigners to acquire properties, that will, of course, help increase the demand in Indonesia and maybe even the price of the apartments. No? Secondly, there is also something in the law which somehow limits the ability to pre-sale. There will be some conditions, but since it's not yet clear exactly as to the impact of the new law, we at the present time are operating on the basis like as usual, and we're waiting until such regulation or such implementing regulations are made. Is there any plan for the pembagian dividend?
Yeah, one thing that we did not do for the investors for 2011 is out of the 2010 earnings, we did not pay any dividends. However, it is the intention of the board of directors to propose to the shareholders a dividend payout out of the 2011 earnings, and we hope that we will be able to do this at the next RUPS, Rapat Umum Pemegang Saham.
The last question. In early October, there will be a investor summit and capital market expo in Jakarta. What do you think about this event? Do you think this will give some benefit for the listed company and also the investor, for foreign investor, local investor? What will be the perspective from the Agung Podomoro to see this event?
Actually, we support the event. As a matter of fact, we wanted to participate and present Agung Podomoro, except the slots are limited, so we were not. Nggak kebagian na.
Tidak kebagian.
But we have agreed to have a stand, and we will be presenting through the stand Agung Podomoro. We had participated in previous events for the IDX last time, and we think this is positive because not only is it a forum for institutional investors, but most especially for retail investors. I think this is good in order to invigorate our stock market.
Baik Pak Cesar, terima kasih atas waktu yang telah disediakan. Demikian Finance Indonesia People, bincang-bincang kita dengan Pak Cesar de la Cruz, Finance Director dari Agung Podomoro. Semoga informasi yang didapat, walaupun sebagian besar dalam bahasa Inggris, dapat dimengerti dan dapat menjadi masukan bagi para pendengar, baik investor maupun trader, untuk mendapatkan menjadi bahan pertimbangan di dalam melakukan investasi dan trading, khususnya di Bursa Efek Indonesia. Terima kasih, salam dan tetap semangat.
FI Radio, Finance Indonesia Internet Radio Channel.